So I'll be taking you through the critical aspects that you consider for any concept that is being asked. Okay, these are just questions that are coming from everywhere. Ne? So I'm just going to do as and when they are coming through. So this is the question, one of the questions that you might find. So if you look at this question, okay, this question is about the fractions, about operations. This question is asking you to deal with operations, okay? Operations, what we mean, we look at hypotenuse. So you must think of hypotenuse. Okay, so hypotenuse, ET, you start with brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So you need to start with multiplication or ilento. Look at this, you've got division, you've got division, and then you also have this. So I'm grouping them together. But before you do that, look at this. You need to simplify this first. Okay, so this is a mixed fraction. You need to rewrite it in a way that it's like a fraction. It's an improper fraction. So now you've got 1 into 1 over 3. So this is equal to 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. It's 4 over 3. So we need to translate this thing, transform it into this. If you don't know how to do it, you can always use a calculator. A calculator can convert this thing for you. So in a calculator, you can have this one. So this is 1. Okay, this is 1 over 3. You want to write it as a fraction. Okay, so the calculator can do it for you. Okay, without really stressing yourself to going to calculate using the processes. Okay, so now the calculator can translate it for you. So you need to do that. So that's what we are going to do. So now we are going to have 2 over 3 divided by 5 over 6. Okay, plus I'm going to do this thing step by step. Divided by 5 over 4 minus 4 over 3 times 6. Okay, and I'm also looking at a specific relationship. I know that division can be translated into a multiplication. For example, if ever I've got A over B dividing by X over Y, this can be rewritten as A over B multiplied by this thing can be written as a reciprocal. Okay, so now these are the concepts that I am thinking about. These are the concepts that I am applying. For me, are the critical aspects that are related to this question. It is both mass, it is this concept. So after doing that, I'll just say, okay, let me change this because I want to have this effect. So I'm going to have 2 over 3 multiplied by 6 over 5, okay, plus 5 multiplied by 4 over 5 minus 4 over 3 multiplied by 6, which is just 6 over 1. So I've got everything, and I know according to hypotenuse, brackets of division, multiplication. So I can start with multiplication, start with multiplication, start with multiplication. Okay, so now multiplying that, this is going to be, this is 2, so this is going to be 4 over 5. Okay, so this can cancel out that, which is plus, so it's going to be 4, and then this one goes 2 times, so this is minus 8. Okay, so now this thing you can see it's 4 over 5, and now I can have this is 4 minus 8, which is minus 8. So now this I can see what is a fraction. This implies that I can find the lowest common multiple, which is 5. 5 to 5 is 1, so multiply by 4 is this. 1 to 5, it is 1. 5 multiplied by 8 is 40. So this is going to be equal to negative 36 over 5. Okay, I look at my questions, and then I see, I don't have a question which is written like this, so let me write this thing as a mixed fraction. So this is minus, and then 5 goes how many times to negative to negative 36? It goes 5 to 30, it goes 6 times. And then I'm going to be left with 5 to 30. And then I'm going to be left with what? I'm going to be left with 30. I'm going to be left with 6/5. Okay, so there is none of those in this. Let me just double check. Okay, double checking means I can write this thing as it is. Okay, this is divided by. It's nice to check, or you can start by. You can start from this step. Divided by. Okay, this is minus 5/4 minus this, which is 1 over 3 times 6. Okay, so now this is when I want to check the answer from the calculator. So this is minus 16/5. Why mina nginoland? Which is 16/5 minus 16/5. Okay, Google lapeng wrong akon. Can you please help me to check? It's 2/3 plus 5 divided by 5/4 minus 4/3 multiplied by this. 2/3, 6/5, 5, 4/5 minus 4/3 multiplied by 6. Okay, this is 3, this is 2, this is going to be 4/5. Okay, please help me to check 5 comes, this is going to be 4/1. Good. So this one, it is 3 goes 2 times, 4 multiplied by 2, it is 8. Ne? Board mass addition is board mass, ne? Yebo?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yebo?
The very beginning, the very first one, you used 5 as a lowest common, lowest common denominator.
Where? Here.
On the two, on the let me see, the second, on the second step, for the second step.
La?
Yes. If you used 5 as the low, yes, there. If you used 5, then shouldn't the 2 be multiplied with 5, like
5 multiplied by?
Shouldn't the 2 be multiplied by 5?
Check here. I've used this property. I changed the division sign to be multiplication sign.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you change the division sign to be multiplication sign, this one is going to change and go up. This one will go down. That's what has happened here.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you see where am I wrong? I am wrong because it board mass. You start by addition before you subtracting. Mina, I came here and I subtracted before adding. This is what I did. I did ilento subtraction, okay, before adding. So I need to start with the addition, then subtraction. That's why I'm getting an incorrect answer. So what needs to happen here? Okay, what needs to happen? You need to first deal with the addition according to board mass. So now this is minus 8. So I need to start with E addition. So when I'm adding here, I'm going to have 5. 5 goes how many times to 5 once. So this is going to be 4 plus 1 to 5 goes 5 times 5 multiplied by 4. It is 20 minus 8. This implies that this is going to be 24/5. Then I can start to subtract according to board mass. Everything needs to follow an order. So here is going to be equal to 5. This is going to be 24 minus 1 goes how many times here? It's going to be 40. So here I'm going to have 40 minus 24. So I'm going to have 24 minus 40, which is going to be equal to minus 16. Okay? Minus 16 over 5. So when you simplify this 5 to 16, 5 goes to 16 3 times, and then I'm going to be left is minus 1 over 5. Okay, so your answer will be this one. So the first step, this is the common error that you will find. You know? So it's important that you notice, when you are working with both maths, you don't just do as you please. You follow the rules. If there's addition and subtraction, you start with the addition, then you follow with the subtraction. Okay, so I start with the subtraction when I have not done the addition. So this is where the trick is in the question like this. So watch out for that trick. So then you get free marks. Some free marks, Lana, that you must always make sure that you get. Let's look at this one. The slope of the line. This thing telling you the line is telling you, Guti, you are within the linear function space. This is a linear function, and the linear function says, Guti, it's in a form mx plus c. That's what we know. So you already know the discourse that you are within. Okay, so you are asked for a slope. Its slope says, Guti, gradient. We are asked for m. So it means we need to rewrite this thing in this form so then we can get the m. So that's the critical aspect. That's how we think around these questions. So here you're going to have 2x, 2y. You're going to have 2y is equal to minus 20x plus 10x minus 5. Okay, so 2y is going to be negative 10x minus 5. Is minus 5. So divide by this is going to be y is equal to negative 5x minus 5 over 2. So this is your m. So your m is equal to negative 5. Okay, so now this becomes this. Okay, so you must always ask yourself, what is the concept? Which discourse? So I know it's linear function. Oh, linear function is y is equal to mx plus c. Oh, okay. So I need to put this thing in a standard form. That's how you work with the functions. And functions, you always want to put everything in a standard form. Okay. So here is a case of an inequality. Okay. So when it's inequality, at the same time, it is like algebraic expressions. Okay, so you want to put your inequality to be x is less than or equal to something. That's what you want to do. So here you want to simplify first. So let's simplify everything here. So here we are going to have negative 3x negative 3 plus 6x plus 6 over 3 is less than or equal to 4x minus 4 over 2. I'm just removing the brackets, applying a distributive property. Let me get all the like terms. So this and that is going to give me 3x. Okay. I'm going to have negative 3 plus 6 over 3. I'll work with these numbers, these number fractions later. And then this is less than or equal to 4x minus 4 over 2. Let me take all the like terms on the same side. So I'm going to have 3x minus 4x less than or equal to 3 minus 6 over 3 minus 4 over 3. So this is going to give me minus x less than or equal to. Let me get my calculator there. So I go to my calculator, I'm going to have 3 minus 3 minus 6 over 3. I learned to simplify it. I don't even need to take it here. 6 over 3. And then this is 2, ne? There was not even a need to take this thing. There was no need. I've just complicated my life unnecessarily. This was unnecessary complication of my life. So this is going to be equal to 3 minus 2 minus 2. Okay, 3 is, this is going to be a minus, this is minus 4 plus 3 is going to be minus 1. So once you've got this, if you've got this negative x less than a, so when you divide by a, your sign needs to change the direction always. Okay, always. So here you are going to divide by a negative number, so you are going to have x is greater than or equal to positive 1. Okay, this is a very important concept of, if you are going to divide an inequality by a negative sign, your inequality needs to change the direction. Okay, so your answer there should be 3. Okay, so that's an important thing that is presented by this inequality. Okay, so you can even go and write this thing in a number line. If you were to draw this thing in a number line, you are going to have your 1. So this is going to have a closed dot. If you've got greater than or equal to, it's a closed dot. And then your thing is like this in a number line. If you were to write it as an interval form, you are going to say this is 1, positive infinity. Okay, that will be the different ways of representing the answer, or x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so this one, you are given, find the equation of a straight line passing through the points. So when you look at this, you can see into Guti here, you are represented with a straight line. Then you know Guti, you are in the context of a linear function. And what do you remember about this? You know Guti, your m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Those are the things that you know. So now what do you do when you've got this? You can just go and then find your gradient. Okay, so to find your gradient first, because you are given the coordinates, you can allow this thing to be x1, this one to be y1, this one to be x2, this one to be y2. So now your gradient is going to be equal to, you substitute here, y2 is 2 minus 1, and then your x2 you substitute here is going to be 1 minus 2, which is going to be equal to 1 over negative 1, which is going to be minus 1. So your gradient is minus 1. So you're going to have y is equal to negative x plus c. So you need to get the point. To get the point, take any of your things, make one. Let's say you've got 2, 1. Okay, make this one y, make this one to be your x. So come and substitute these ones here. Okay, so your y is 1 is equal to minus your x is 2 plus c. So your c is equal to 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3. Then when you are done, you come and substitute it back here. So you are going to have your y is equal to negative x plus 3. Okay, so now that becomes the equations that you are looking for. Okay, you first look, what is the context that you are working with? It's a context of linear functions. What are the critical aspects of a linear function? It is the gradient, it is the y-intercept, and then how you find it, you look on what you are given. You are given the coordinates. You know how to find the gradients using AMA coordinates. You use that discourse. Okay. Here still, you are working with a line. Still, you are within the discourse of a linear function. Okay, so to get this, you're going to have 2y is equal to 1 plus 4x. Ne? So your y is going to be equal to 4x over 2 plus 1 over 2. So this is going to be 2x plus half. So now your gradient would be 2. Okay, so what is guiding you is what is it that the discourse, and you are asked for a slope. A slope is the same as the gradient of the line. And you go and look at a different question, different context. Okay. Here you are, they say find the value of quantity for the demand function this when the market price is this. Okay, so now we need to find the value of quantity of a demand function. Here is just a concept of substitution, really. So the market price is 24, so you just substitute. You substitute and say, I've got 24 is equal to 60 minus 4Q. Okay, so 4Q is going to be equal to 60 minus 24. This is a straightforward question which you just have to substitute. Okay, so here you're going to have 60 minus 24. This is 36, so you're going to have 36 4Q. So your Q is going to be equal to 36 over 4, which is just equal to 9. So your answer is equal to 9. So here it is just to substitute there. You don't need to think any deeper. Just substitute the value that has been given. Okay. So let's look at this and see what it is addressing. It is saying the cost Y in rands of manufacturing X bicycle is that. How many bicycles have been manufactured if the cost is this? Yeah? So here you are given the actual cost. Okay, so the cost is in Y rands. So now this is equal to Y. So your Y is equal to this. So now you want to find your X. That means now you are going to substitute there wherever you see a Y in your function and solve for OX, because now the bicycles are X. So you're looking for the bicycles. So you are going to substitute this into that. Okay, so you're going to have 37, 320 minus 50x, because you are told what is the cost. The whole thing is equal to, you substitute it here, 250x plus 720. Okay, so you're going to have 37, 320 minus 720 is equal to, I'm putting all the like terms together. So this is going to be 300x. So I just take a calculator there. So if I take a calculator, I'm going to have 37, 320 minus 720, 36600. So now if I want to solve for OX, I'm going to divide this number by 300. I'm going to divide by 300. Okay, so if I divide by 300, I'm going to get an answer of 122. So my X is equal to 122. So this is 122 bicycles. Okay, so if I'm given this cost, so I'm going to get my bicycles are 122. Okay, so now this is about substitution of variables. Okay, so here they say determine the coordinates of intersection of two lines. Lines is about linear functions or equations. And then intersection, we are thinking of simultaneous equations. So now we need to solve these things simultaneously. Okay, there's X and Y. So we are, the most preferable method will be the method of elimination. Elimination, that means you eliminate one variable. Okay. So when you do elimination, you need to choose one of the variables. Make one variable, the coefficients needs to be the same. Similar of whichever one that you want to eliminate. Okay. Let's say we want to eliminate x. So this is 3x, this is x. So that means we are going to name this one and say we've got equation 1 and we're going to have equation 2. So for us to have equation 2 to have the same coefficient, only x, we need to multiply equation 2 by 3 as of no equation 1. So we say equation 2 multiplied by 3, okay, is going to be equal to 3x plus 3y plus 3 is equal to 0. So we've got the new equation. So this we are done. So we are going to put the equation 1 here. So this is our equation 1. We are done with equation 2. We have transformed it. Okay. So for us to eliminate this one, we can say equation 3 minus equation 1. Okay. So when you are doing that, it means the sign is going to change. This is going to change. The sign is going to change, as 0 can be 0. So the answer that we are going to find here, this is going to give us 0. So this is going to give us 3 minus 2 is going to give us y. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6 is equal to 0. Therefore, your y is equal to minus 6. Okay. Once you've got that, your y is equal to 6, you need to find, you still need to find x because you're looking for the points of intersection. So take any of your equations, 1, 2, 3, anyone that you like. Let's take the one ebonakala ngathi ilulanyana, number 2, ne? And then substitute y in equation 2. You always communicate. So we are going to have, I'm going to put everything here. Okay, so it's going to be x plus minus 6 plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so you're going to have x minus 6 plus 1 is equal to 0. And your x is going to be equal to -5. So your points of intersection is going to be equal to -5, comma, -6. So that's how you would solve for the points of intersection. If maybe you still want to satisfy yourself, you can use you can use AI tools. Let's say this is an assignment. I always encourage you to make sure go to Tola 90% at least with assignment. Use all the AI tools that you've got access to. So the graphing tool that is there to check for you will be Desmos. Then you go and check against it to check if your points of intersections are really those two. So you can enter and say 3x plus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. That's your first equation. Your second function, it is x plus y plus 1 is equal to 0. So now those are your two functions. You want to check a point of intersection where they intersect. That's a point of intersection. You click here. There is where they are intersecting. So they're intersecting at 5, comma, minus 6. Okay. So this is equal to +5. look at my science. So your point of intersection, just by checking, we are going to go to if ever we are doing assignment and then you don't check these, you can easily get your incorrect answer. So when I checked, I saw ukuthi mina ngenze error lapha and ngibhale negative instead of positive. So it's good to always check. So then you can just get 200% my multiple choice questions, like those ones that are related to those that are related to in what in those that are related to in multiple choice, especially linear functions. You can go and check on the AI tools. Let's look at this. Okay, the demand function and the supply functions. These are the two, where P and Q are price and the quantity respectively. So calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. This is also presenting to you, okay? It's a linear function, okay? It's a linear function. So equilibrium is when you are looking for the point. It's like looking at the points of intersection. That's points of that's equilibrium. So now points of intersection, you need to find the simultaneous equation. So this becomes equation 1. So this it becomes equation 2. So we can use elimination methods because these are linear elimination method. So we are going to eliminate Q. We'll eliminate Q. So we can say equation 1 minus equation 2. If you do that, you need to change the bottom sign, change the bottom sign, change the bottom sign. So the answer lapha 0 is equal to 80 plus 8 is going to be 88, okay? And then you're going to have minus P minus 1 over 3P, okay? I'm just rewriting this. So 0 is going to be 88. This is 1. 1 minus 1 over 3. I mean, calculator ngiyayithanda because it's giving you is 1 plus 1 over 3. It's 4 over 3. So I've got negative 4 over 3 P. So I can simplify for my P is 4 over 3. 4 over 3P is equal to 88. Okay. So 4P is equal to 88 multiplied by 3. 88 multiplied by 3 is 264. So my P is going to be equal to 264 divided by 4, which is going to be equal to, I'm going to divide by 4, which is 66. So this is going to be 66. So my P is 66, but I need my Q, okay? Because now I'm looking for the price, the equilibrium price. Equilibrium price is talking about the points of intersections. Okay, so to find my Q, I can substitute it anyway. So I can substitute it in either 1 or 2. So I'm going to say in 1, I'm going to have Q is equal to 80 minus 66. So 80 minus 66. So 80 minus 66 is equal to 14. So the points of equilibrium. So this is going to be, okay. So this one is going to be your quantity, the price at 66. That's where you are going to find the points of equilibrium. That is the points of intersection. So it's just a throwing of words here. Okay. Let's look at this one. This question, you have to read what the context first. So here they say, suppose the cost of manufacturing 10 units of product is 40 and the cost of manufacturing 20 units is 70. If the cost is linear related to the output, so you already think, oh, they're talking about linear function here. Calculate the cost. So this is what we need to find. We need to find the cost. Okay. Mara, when you look at the question, for you to be able to calculate the cost, okay, you need to ukuthi ube you need to understand into ukuthi what is the cost function, okay? So the cost of manufacturing this, okay, is 40, the cost of so let us say now we've got UX, okay? I'm going to use UX, ne? And say my X is going to be equal to be my quantity. Let me say my X is going to be my quantity. And then I'm going, because now they're talking about the linear. So the linear relationship, it is this. Ne? So now I'm going to let my X and then I'm going to let my Y to be equal to my price. What am I given here? I am told a cost of producing 10. So I've got X1 is equal to quantity is 10, and then a price of this, which is Y1, it is costing 40 rand. I'm just decontextualizing now and mathematizing. And then the cost of manufacturing, and I've got another element here of 20, and then this one, it is equal to 70. Ne? So I'm told it is a linear, calculate the cost. So I need to get the cost function. Okay, I need to get my cost function. So what I'm going to do here, okay, I am going to get this linear relationship, and then I'm going to say my Y. Okay, so which one should I name my cost? My cost should be, it is my Y, so I'm looking for this one. So my Y is my cost. Ne? Y is the cost. So I'm looking for a function of Y is equal to mx plus c, so then I can get this. So for me to get this function, I need to have my gradient and I also need to have my c. So I can get my gradient, a c problem. So I can say my gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's your problem there. So now your y2 is equal to 70, your y1 is 40, divided by your x2 is 20 minus 10. So when I'm looking at these questions, I said, if I've got linear, something with linear, I'm going to bring to memory this one. What are the concepts of these ones? This is the concept of this one. So for me to be able to work with a linear function, I need two coordinates. And then these coordinates have been given to me. I have decontextualized them. So I can just go and substitute here. So 70 minus 40, this is just going to be equal to 30. And then 20 minus 10 is equal to 10. So this is just going to be equal to 3. So my gradient is equal to 3. Now I'm already in a mathematization space. So my y is equal to 3x plus UC. Mara, I still need to get UC, okay? Because I need a linear function. So for me to get to C, I can get any. Let us get this. I'll get this combination. Yeah? And say, okay, if I'm getting that combination, I'm going to say my y is 40, which is equal to 3. My x is equal to 10 plus c. So I'm going to have 40 is equal to 30 plus c. So my c is equal to 40 minus 30, which is equal to 10. So I'll go and substitute my c here. So my y is equal to 3x plus 10. This is the function, but remember, you were not asked a function. You were asked to calculate the cost of producing 35 items, okay? Remember, this is equal to x, okay? The items, the quantity is what they are looking for. They are looking for you are given OX, your X here is equal to 35. You want to find the cost. Okay, that's what you are asked to find here. You are given your X is equal to 35, you need to find your Y. So you have already identified your function. So what you do, you said, okay, fine, I've got my Y is equal to 3. The X there is equal to 35. plus 10. Okay, so you can just take your calculator and find the cost. So the cost there is going to be 35 multiplied by 3, which is 105 plus 10. So it's 115. So your Y is 115. Okay. So how do you decontextualize a question? You first ask yourself, what is the context of this question? This question is within the context of linear functions. So what are the linear functions tell me? They tell me that I must have a function which looks like this. And then if what are the properties of this? It is the gradient and the y-intercept. So you go through the process mathematizing now. So mathematizing is a different thing. So now you are saying to interpret this thing, the cost of producing 35 items, it is 115 rand. Okay, so because there's a linear relationship, the relationship between the cost and the quantity is linear. So this is what I'm mathematizing it. Okay, so if you can try and practice using that kind of a flow of thinking, you would be able to get these questions. Here's a question. This is a question which is representing the same scenario as we came across earlier on, a scenario of body mass. Okay, you can use a calculator, but we are saying you can change this relationship before you can even stress yourselves. Okay, and say, let me change that relationship over 45 multiplied by 5 over 12. I'm going to change this because I know when I've got A over B divided by X over Y, this is equal to A over B multiplied by Y over X. This is a special relationship that I am going to be using. Okay, so now this is going to be multiplied by 3 over 2. Ne? So after multiplication, remember you start with multiplication before you add and subtract. So you can do anything here before you add. That's what this thing is saying. So this will go here 9 times. Okay. And then this can go here 6 times. And this can go 3 is 4 times. I'm sorry, guys. This one is 4 times. So 2 can go here. 2 to 36. From me. 36 divided by 2 is 18. So I've got 18. So in my numerator, I've got 18. 18 divided by 9 multiplied by 4. 9 can go here once, 9 goes here 2 times. So I've got 2 over 4, which is equal to a half. Okay, so if maybe you feel good, I mean, because I don't want to be changing my multiplication sign, you can use your calculator and say, I've got 1 plus 36, 45, multiplied by this is 5, and then this is 12, and then this is divided. I'm writing it as it is. If you don't want to waste time, you can use your calculator. You are allowed to use your calculator, most. So you enter. So my answer is 3 over 2 instead. My answer is 3 over 2. Where did I go wrong? Khona lapho engirong khona. I'm going to start afresh. Because manje ngenza yonke into cancelling. The answer is 3 over 2 when you check there. So 1 plus 36 over 45 multiply 5 over 12. Ngizoyenza step by step. Multiply by 3 over 2. Okay, so let us not rush this. I'll start to Ilento. This is going to be 45 divided by 5. Hey, 45 divided by 5, it's 9. So I've got 1 plus, this is going to be 9. 36 over 9 multiplied by 1 over 12 times 3 over 2. Yes, step by step. Ne? So 9 goes there is 4 times. Ne? And then you are going to have 3 nalana uyagai 1. So 3 goes 4 times. Okay. So this is going to be 1. So here I'm going to have 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. It is 4. So I've got 4 over 8. Yeah? It's 4 over 8. This multiplied by this is 4 over 8, which is equal to 1 plus 1 over 2. So when you divide this is going to be 1 here is 2. So you're going to have 2 plus 1, which is 3 over 2. So guys, please, it's easy to make an error here. That's why I'm encouraging you to use the calculator to check. Okay, because I've already made a mistake myself, Jenna. I forgot to add 1. Okay, that's where I had to start afresh because 1 with that side. So I went back to change. Otherwise, this is both mass and then it's got operations and fractions. Okay.
Ma'am?
Hello?
I'm sorry to take you back. I saw you were using a Casio calculator, and do you perhaps know, because I'm starting to learn my financial calculator, the sharp calculator, the function to put in fractions. Do you know which one I need to use?
You want to share the screen with me then? Can you share?
Unfortunately, I'm holding the sharp and I'm
Oh, you can.
yeah.
I was if only I call it. Do you have your phone? Can you shoot that on?
Okay.
Touch this tombe and then take the photo. Take the photo and you can send it on the chat, ne?
Okay, let me do it okay, let me send it to the laptop. Otherwise, if we want to make it quicker, you could maybe Google there or maybe let me Google it. The calculator itself.
What's the name of the calculator?
The Sharp EL 738.
It's Sharp
EL 738.
XT.
No, just 738.
Is it this one? Is it this one?
No, that one is like the new one. I think I have the older one. But the thing is similar. Let me see.
But is it I got different kakhulu.
It's not that different. I just don't see. I'm always struggling with the same thing. I just don't see where I'm supposed to. I don't know if some of my.
Let me check. Sometimes I'll start and you can go to YouTube and enter Eland, enter the model number and say, help me with doing fractions.
Okay.
So if I had this one, to get a fraction, Lana, where is the fraction? I'm looking at this basic one. Fractions. Fraction. I don't see a fraction here.
Yes, it's the same with this one.
I'm going to my fractions. Try Elento, try Elento YouTube and see if ever YouTube cannot help you.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, go YouTube uvele uthi uthi YouTube sharp what how do I enter fractions and see how it's going to guide you, ne?
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. Because you don't want to be, as you don't want to be calculating them, guys. You just get it into calculate. Okay, so now here is another question, guys. I'm sorry that I just got questions at random. Ne? I did not group the questions according to the concept. So next time I'll try to group them. Okay, so here you are asked for the roots. Okay, ama roots we know what are the x-intercepts. Okay, this is another word for ama x-intercepts. X-intercepts. So you are asked to find the x-intercepts here. So you know what you've got y plus 6 is equal to 2x squared plus x. Okay, so if you've got a question like this, you know what the x-intercept is when your y is equal to 0. Your x-intercept is when your y is equal to 0. So you've got x comma 0. That is the definition of the roots. So what you do here, you let your y to be 0. So this is going to be 0 plus 6 is equal to 2x squared plus x. Okay. So this is equal to, so you're going to have 2x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So you get this. This is a quadratic function. So now you are looking for the factors of 6. When you multiply them together with that one, it's going to give you a middle term. So now how do you get those? You're going to use what we call EAC method. Most of the time, people would struggle with this. And AC method is when you've got ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so you can use EAC method to find. If the AC method fails, you can use you can use a formula, a quadratic formula. Okay, let me just show you AC method before going into a formula. So AC method, it get the products of AC. So your AC, it is 6 multiplied by 12, which is AC, it is 6 multiplied by 2, which is 12, and your middle term is just equal to 1. So now it means find the factors of 12. When you add them or subtract them, uzoknikeza 1. So we can try ulento 3 multiplied by 4. 3 multiplied by 4, it is 12. 3 minus 4, that is going to give you 1. So now these two becomes your factors. Okay, so how you write those, you come here and say, I've got 2x squared, okay? I've got minus 6 is equal to 0. I'm going to substitute this and this there. So I'm going to say this one is going to be equal to, 1 needs to be, it's going to be plus 4x minus 3x. Okay. So you see what I've done? I've rewritten OX, so then I can get from these two, less than 2. So then it's only a positive X. So it's called substitution. Okay. So now after doing that, I'm going to have 2x squared. I'm going to have 2x squared plus 4x and group this thing together. And I'm going to have minus 3x minus 6 and group them together. So you use a grouping method. So here you can take out 2x. So this is going to give us x plus 2. I'm taking out 2x. And then here, if I'm taking out to negative 3, I'm going to have negative 3. So if I'm taking out negative 3, I'm going to have x plus 2. Okay, so once you are there, you think of this and say, I've got 2x. This is a, and then this is minus 3, and then this is a. This is equal to 0. So if you've got an equation like this, you would take out to a. So you're going to have a into 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So you would operate in the same similar fashion here in your function. So it means in your function, you are going to, in this function, you are going to say you've got two, you're going to take out what is common. What is common is your A. So you're going to take out your A, which is x plus 2. Okay. If I take out 2x plus 2 here, I'll be left with 2x. And then if I take out here, I'm going to be left with minus 3. So this is going to be equal to 0. So your x plus 2, and then you use a property, AB is equal to 0. Your A is equal to 0, or your B is another property that you apply. So this is going to be equal to 0, or 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So your x is equal to minus 2, or your x is equal to 3 over 2. So this becomes your solution. Okay, so 3 over 2, it is just 2 over 5. So you need to look for a solution. 3 over 5 is 1,5. So you need to look for a solution, which is going to be this one. AC method is a method that you use when the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1. So here, when you've got this, if this is greater than 1, so you need to apply AC method. That's what most of the people struggle with. And then if we are going to go to you can use a quadratic formula. Okay, so try and practice this method. If maybe you find it easy, it's difficult to find factors when the coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1. Okay, so this is how you'd find the roots. So the roots is minus 2 and 3 over 2. You want to test. I always want to test because I've got an opportunity to do that. Remember, when you are doing assignment, you've got so many opportunities to check if ever things are correct or not. So you can just go and check what are going to be your x-intercepts here. Go to this graphing method. Okay. Go to this graphing method, and then in this graphing method, go and graph your function and see what are your x-intercepts, just to confirm. So then ube sure you have chosen the correct you have chosen the correct answer. So you're going to have y is y plus 6 is equal to 2x squared. This is 2x squared plus x. Yeah? So now this is the function you want to check. What are your x-intercept? One x-intercept is minus 2. Okay, x-intercept you want to go minus 2,0. That's one x-intercept. Another x-intercept is 1,5. 0. So you know what you have calculated the correct x-intercept just by checking. You're using AI tools to help you with your learning. Okay, so please do use those, and then this is just a process on how you find them mathematically. Okay, so here, how many units must be produced to maximize a profit defined by the function? So here, what context you are in? You are in a context of into aboma profit, is financial means aboma profit, aboma revenue, and so on and so on. So the concept is maximizing a profit. When you are maximizing a profit, if y is your profit, it means you need to find the first derivative. You need to find the first derivative and equate it to 0. That is maximizing a profit. Okay, that is a critical aspect. You bring it to memory and solve for x. So we are going to solve for y color and say y is going to be equal to negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 6. So we need to find the first derivative there. So the derivative there is equal to negative 2 into 2x plus 8. So this is going to be negative 4x plus 8. This thing needs to be equated to 0 because we are maximizing a profit according to this. So 4x is going to be equal to 8. So your x is going to be equal to 2. So your answer is 2 units. So what was important for us is to say maximizing a profit is this equation. So we are following this is guiding us. We need to first find the first derivative, and then we solve for x. This one was pretty much, didn't need to think much. It was a straightforward a question here. We are in an algebra space. This one, it is saying to us, you've got a set. A set is when you've got this, which this is equal to 1 over 2. And we also something like an to the power m is equal to an m. So these are the critical aspects that are addressed by this question. So we are going to be asking for help from these. So first thing that we are going to say, we are saying we will first worry about what is inside. So we said, okay, this, what is inside, we can say 8 multiplied by 8. Okay, so when you are saying 8 multiplied by 8, you are going to have, this is going to be 64. Okay, so after doing so, we have applied this method. So we are going to apply this one. That's the second one. So this is going to be here we know good to 2 ohleli laphayana. So it's going to be 64 divided by 2. Okay, as this. Okay, this is 1. It's 1 over 2. So this is going to be x. 64 to 2 is going to be 32. So this was just for you to say you start from inside and go out. When you've got brackets and then those aboma exponents, you start and simplify the brackets, because even a bot mass issue, it bot mass always start and remove the brackets. So the brackets are inside. Go inside and remove brackets, and then after removing our brackets, then you can start to simplify going outwards. Okay, so now this will be the answer using exponential laws. Okay, and this is all about the log. Okay, this is a log, a log thing, and then this is a base 5. Okay, our calculators cannot handle base 5. So we say there is a property which is saying if you've got a log of base whatever, you can change the base. Let's say we change the base to base 10. We'll make that base 10 maybe equal to B. To change the base, you're going to say log B. I'm changing the base to log B. I'm going to start with x over log B over whatever old base is. So here we want to change the base. Okay, so the first thing that we will do here, we'll say you've got log 5, and then let's get this thing. Okay, we'll go to our calculator and say our calculator, it is 15 divided by 0.45 and make it one number. It is 33.33 continuing number. So now you can just have 33 comma so many. I can just do to the 5th decimal place. 4th decimal is still okay. So I've got that. So I'm going to write this in this form, but change the base to 10. Why? Because our calculators can only handle base 10. So I'm going to change to base 10. So I'm going to say I'm going to have log base 10, which is going to be 33.3333 divided by log base 10, whatever the old base was. Okay, so now this is a concept of changing the base. Log 10 is what the calculator is base 10. Okay, So this is in base 10. I can just take my calculator and say here on my numerator, I've got log 33 point to the fourth decimal place, that's fine. And then on my denominator, I've got log base 5. I've got log 5. It's log base 10, 5. So, and then get my calculation. So my calculation is going to be 2,179. Okay, so this becomes my calculator. So this is going to be 2,179. Okay, so the concept here was the concept of change base. Why? Your calculator cannot handle a base 5. So now this is the critical aspect that is addressed by this question. So we have applied it. Okay, we have applied that concept, simplifying this to get this, and then from here you move and then you change the base to base 10. Okay, so that's how you work with concepts like these. If you've got a calculator, a financial calculator, please go to YouTube and say YouTube, write the model number and say, how do I calculate questions of base or of log with different base other than 10? And of base 10, it can be base 10. Ask for the help. Otherwise, if it can't, it means you have to first calculate the base 10, ubhale answer, and then calculate the base 5, ubhale answer, and it's a long method. Okay. So let's look at this question. This is a concept of differentiation. Okay. Of the function, this one. So you are in differentiation, you have to think of differentiation rules. There are different differentiation rules, guys. Gune power function, gune product rule, gune quotient rule, gune chain rule. Gune standard forms. Ne? There are many of them. So when you're working with the differentiation, you need to first analyze the kind of function that you have. Okay, and first simplify, always simplify. So we are saying if ever unezinto ezifana nalezi, ne, rewrite this thing as this, or if ever lento in a number lana and then here is got a number, rewrite it as this. Ne? Let's first simplify. So when we simplify, we are going to first say, okay, I've got x squared minus 4. So this is going to be half plus 4. So these are the concepts that we are working with. And then we want to simplify first before we can worry about what is it that we need to do. So we've got g or x. We can open upper brackets. This is going to be x to the power 3 minus 4 x multiplied by x to the power half plus 4x. So this thing is also giving us ilento. We also have to work with exponential laws. Ne? So this is x cubed minus 1 plus half is 3 over 2. So you are going to have, remember the laws, an multiplied by am is equal to an plus m. So we are applying this rule here. Yeah, we've applied that rule. What we're saying yes, it was easy. So 1 plus this, it is 3 over 2 plus 4x. So now we have simplified our thing, and then this is a power. So a power function is saying if ever I've got y is equal to axn, y prime is equal to an xn minus 1. So I'm applying this rule. So I'm going to say g prime x is equal, because this is a power, it's a power function, it's a power function. So this is going to be 3x, 3 minus 1 minus 4 into 3 over 2, x 3 over 2 minus 1 plus this is just equal to 4. We don't need to go deeper here. So you're going to have 3x squared, ne? Minus this 2, this is 2, which is going to be equal to 6x. 3 over 2 minus 1. I can come to my calculator. 3 over 2 minus 1 is half. So this is going to give me half plus 4. I check against what is given to me. Okay. I've got 3x squared minus 6 to the power half. So this is my answer. Okay, so all the other ones is wrong, ne? So you do these things step by step. So I'm in a differentiation. So against the differentiation, I've got different rules. I'll worry about the rules, but I think bigger to what kind of functions do I have? I need to simplify my expressions. So I've got it said is when you've got this, I think you simplify it first. You simplify it, and then you multiply, you number exponential laws. You simplify until the end. So you think in that fashion. Okay, what is the concept that I'm working with? Then you go and dig deeper and dig deeper and dig deeper. Okay, similar here. You see an integral sign and then say, if I've got an integral sign, I know integral sign is a reverse of differentiation. I know the rules of this thing. The rules of these things, this is an integration. So this is what to do at the back of your mind. With integration, if I've got this, which is a power function, dx, this is going to be equal to xn plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. Then I know, oh, I'm in this discourse. I know the critical aspects. However, if I'm working with this, I need to first simplify. Ne? And then you simplify and write as we have done on the previous question, whereby we said if ever unalento lena, this thing needs to be simplified to be like this. Okay. Or if ever I've got this, if this is 2, I've got xn m, this is going to be xn over m. I have to simplify first. Okay. Which is what I'm going to do here before I get excited to tolerate differentiation. So this is going to be x cubed plus x cubed over x squared plus x cubed over, this can be simplified to be x2 over 2. Remember, kuno 2 ohleli laphayana. So you are just distributing x cubed on each and every everybody here, dx. So you simplify. So this is x cubed plus, you've got a quotient a n over a m. This is equal to a n minus m. So I'll do that, which is going to be 3 minus 2. That is going to be equal to 1. And then plus here is going to be 1. Is x cubed over x to the power 1. Angifuni ukurasha, angifuni ukuthola i-answer until that I know ukuthi ngenze everything. X cubed, this is going to be x squared. So I've got everything here in this form. Everything has been put in this form, so I can apply this law. Okay, so applying this law, I'm going to say here, I'm going to have 3 plus 1. Whatever is here must go here. Okay, plus x, guno 1, lapayana, 1 plus 1. Whatever is here must also go here. And this is equal to 2 plus 1. Whatever is there must also go there, plus c. Okay, so simplifying this thing even further is going to give me x to the power 4 over 4, okay, plus x to the power 2 over 2 plus x to the power 3 over 3 plus c. Okay, so you can just go and check which one is resonating with you. Okay, check which one is resonating with your this one, and then we are checking ukuthi lena ikona, lena ikona, lena ikona, then your answer is equal to 2. Should you answer yako awuyitholi, guys, should you not find your answer, go and use AI tools. Okay, use AI tools. Don't let these free marks go. Don't let these free marks go. Asazi, I mean, we're in a different context. So you can say, go to Google. Go to Google and check in case you did not get the answer. When go here and say integration calculator. Calculator integration is an AI tool. Bathi ayinabungozi, ungayisebenzisa ayinabungozi. So we can enter our function. I'll enter the function here. The function was this. I'll enter it for us. And then we had this. It was 1. It was 1 plus, okay, 1 divided by, it was 1 divided by x squared. Yeah. And then after that, it was plus, okay, it was 1 divided by, and then in the numerator, they had the square roots, a square root of x squared. Okay, so I'm just re-entering the question. So then you can see how is this thing done. Then you just say go. So it's telling you the answer. Answer mara unufuna steps, ne? And then you can say, okay, show me the steps. I want the steps. So this is doing step by step. It is. Unfuna a simplified one. And this one is not so nice. This one is not so nice. So lena angithandela into eyi-1 ngoba manje, okay, here is here it would be the answer. Okay, here will be the answer. You want to show the steps. Ama-steps alana ayangidina because ayenze i-product rule. We don't want to be doing product rule unnecessarily. Okay, there was no need to do product rule. So this is not so nice, but check against your calculation. Do you have the correct calculation? Where have you gone wrong? Yeah, so do that. This one was not helpful. Some of the AI tools are not helpful. You can even check with the ChatGPT if ever you are not satisfied with other shorter AI tools. Okay. Here is another one. It's also in the context of Ileto. It's in the context of integration, but this integration is the one which has got it is a definite integral. So a definite integral if you've got a b, ne? You've got a b, and then you are looking for a derivative of any function that is inside. So this thing is saying find the integration of this. After you have done that, you find your limits and b, which is equal to f o b minus f o A. So now this is the definition of a definite integral. But first, before you find that, you need to first simplify this. So you're going to take this one and say, I've got U1, I've got U5, and I'm going to simplify first. So I'm going to have 2x squared divided by UX plus x to the power 4 divided by UX. Okay, this is all dx. Okay, so this is 1, 5. So this is going to give you 2. So this is, you apply my exponents. A(n) over am is equal to a(n) minus m. So it's going to be 2x, 2 minus 1 is 1, plus x, 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So this simplifies itself to this nice power function. So to get this, you're going to have 2x 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1 plus x 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. But now this is a definite integral. We don't add to c. So this is going to give us 2x squared over 2 plus x to the power 3 over 3. This is all 5 and 1. So now you need to deal with the definite integral. Okay, to deal with the definite integral, let me simplify this thing first. So this is going to be x squared plus x cubed over 3. So the definite integral is 5 and 1. So now we are going to take that function as it is. So and substitute for U5. We are going to apply this and then apply that. So we are going to have 5 squared plus 5 cubed over 3, that is first part, minus the second part. Okay, the second part will be U1. We are going to have U1 squared plus 1 cubed over 3. So this is going to be 25 plus 125 over 3 minus 1 plus 1 over 3. So honestly, you can just take your calculator, guys. From this step, just take your calculator and get your answer. So you've got your first, which is 25 plus 125 divided by 3. Close your brackets, which is going to be minus. You open your brackets. You're going to have 1 plus, fractions akola is 1 divided by 3, and then you close the brackets and then let it get your answer is 196 over 3. You want it as a decimal. It's going to be 65 comma 333, and there's none of those answers. Let me see if ever I got my 125 correctly. So I've got U5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. It's 125.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you go to the, I think it's the third step.
La?
There's,
Yeah.
where it's, 2x2 over 2.
Yeah.
And then it's plus x3 over 3. Is that not supposed to
X4.
be x4 over 4?
Yeah. It's X4, ne? X4. Yeah. Uyabona once uthole ulento uthole i-answer yakho ithi it's none of the above, ubo suspect ukuthi khona lapho obhayise khona, ne? Over 4. Ne? So this is going to be 1 squared. X4 is going to be 1 to the power 4, ne? Over 4. So it's 1 over 4, ne? So let's start again. 25 plus 25. over 3 minus 1 plus 1 Bible still angayitholi. Is there someone who's getting the answer ehlobo luthizeni? Okay. You can just double check for me, but according to what I've calculated, I'm getting none of the above, but it's still open for correction. You can correct it if ever it was wrong somewhere, because I want to finish some of the questions here. Now, what is the marginal cost when Q is 9 if the total cost is given by that? Okay, so here we are in the cost of in the concept of application of differentiation in an economics part. Okay, so you are given a total cost, so you need to find a total marginal cost. Marginal cost, you are asked what is the first derivative of your total cost. So a marginal cost here is going to be equal to 3 into 3 Q3 minus 1 minus 2 Q2 minus 1 plus 70. Okay, that is the derivative. This is going to be equal to 9 Q squared minus 2Q plus 70. That is your marginal cost. You are looking for the marginal cost when your Q is equal to 9. So you just substitute. All right. So this is going to be 9 into 9 squared minus 2 into 9 plus 70. Okay. So I can just come to my calculator and say 9 multiplied by 81 minus 18 plus 70. The answer is 781. So the marginal cost there is 781 when your quantity is equal to 9. So this one was a matter of knowing Guti, a marginal cost is the first derivative of is a first derivative, just to know that that critical aspect. Okay, and substitute. Okay. So this question, we need to think a bit. Ne? This question is saying this company is a manufacturer radio. Ne? If X is the number of radios that the retailers are likely to purchase at a price that per unit, and the cost function is given by, what is the revenue function of the manufacturing company? Okay. And then you sit and say, here, I am given a cost function. Nginigeziwe a cost function. Okay, I'm happy with the cost function. And I am given ilento a price. Okay. And I know for me to get a revenue, I need to have a price multiplied by the variables that I'm looking at. Okay, so cost function is it has nothing to do with the revenue. I know the definition of a revenue is this: is the price multiplied by the quantity, which is the X. And here I'm only given a price. This is the price that has been given here. The price has been given to me. I am given the price. So for me to get revenue, I need to get the function and say ROX. This is a critical aspect that I'm going to be using. The price that I am given, it is 5 minus X over 1,000. However, this needs to be multiplied by UX. So this is the function. Where is the misconception? The misconception is when people just take this and say it's a revenue. And they say, okay, I've got my revenue. But no, the definition of a revenue, it is saying, take the price, whatever the price is given, it can be a dog or a cat or whatever, take the price as it's given, multiply it by the variable, that is X. Okay, so that's what we have done there. So this is going to be equal to 5X minus X squared over 1,000. Okay, so you can rewrite this thing. This thing has been turned to this 1 over 1,000 as a decimal number. So the revenue, because ngifuna i-answer ezofana nalena, the revenue is going to be 5X. Okay, axilena. So you suspect this one, Mara, your answer is not written in that. You can just go and say, okay, I'll go into my calculator and say, in my calculator, I've got 1 divided by 1,000, okay, equal to, ngifuna ingibhalele as a decimal number. So I bought it as a decimal number. In any event, this as a decimal number is going to be, you've got 3 zeros. So 1 divided by this is going to be 0, le calculator ayenzi. Ngifuna ukunibonisa ukuthi uyithola kanjani as a decimal number. Oh, it's not writing it as a decimal number, but this one, the way you would, is going to be 1 divided by 1,000. 1 divided by 1,000, this is going to be 1. This is going to be 1 to 1, 1 to, which one is 1,000? It's 1,000 to 1. 1,000 to 1, this is going to be equal to 0. And then you add omunye 0. And then once you add the omunye 0, and then you're going to have a comma, and then you add omunye 0, and then you're going to have a 0, because 1,210 agayi, 1,200 agayi. This is arithmetic as a primary school. I-calculator yami ayenzi, bengicabanga ukuthi izongezela. And then, so this, and then you're going to have 0, 0, and then add another 0, and then 1,000 to 1 is 1, so it's going to give you 0 plus 0. So it's going to be 0, 0,001. Okay, so this is a calculator can do it for you, but if calculator means an old one, it's in an old way. So this is just to understand the concept. Okay, understand what is it that is given. Okay, a cost function, it did not help you with anything. You can only use it if ever you're looking for a profit function. So you don't even touch this thing. It does not even help you. It's for you to understand, Guti, this is the definition for a revenue. Okay. So let's look at this one. This question is saying, the driving school provide X number of lessons per day. Yeah? The school has a daily fixed cost of this when offering the lesson. The variable cost is this for each lesson. If the revenue function of the school per day is this one, how many lessons should be provided to break even? Okay, what does it mean to break even? Break even, it means now your revenue is going to be equal to your cost. That's what you know about the definition of break even. But what is it that you are given? Okay, so now you need to understand, I need to have my revenue function, and my revenue function is always price multiplied by X. And then also we know in a cost function, the cost function is equal to my cost multiplied by your X. And also a cost can is a fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay, so that's what you know about these things. These are the critical concepts that you know. So you said, okay, fine. What am I given? I'm given a fixed cost, ne variable cost. Fine. So for me to get my cost function, I'm going to have my fixed, that's a definition. This is fixed cost plus a variable cost. So a fixed cost will be the fixed cost, as you are told. A fixed cost is 1,250. A variable cost is always written in this way. Okay, so now your cost function will be 1250 plus what is the cost, the variable cost? It is, the cost is 355. So you've got 335x. Okay, that is your cost function that you derive from the information that is given to you. So you have decontextualized this thing into mathematizations part. So you've got your cost function. You also need to get your revenue function. Here you are given a revenue function. It's been given to you. You are told it's a revenue function. It's not a price, but the revenue function. So a revenue function it's been given to you. You don't need to be going to calculate it. It's 9,000 plus 25x. Where is the misconception here? Is to always think every time you are given something to do with the revenue, is a price that still needs to be multiplied. Here, you are not given a price, you are given the whole function. So now you've got these two, okay? So now you've got your two functions, and then the revenue to break even, you need to have this, okay? So for you to break even, you need to equate this. So you're going to have 1250 plus 335x is equal to 9,000 plus 25x. Okay, so you simplify this, take the like terms, put them together. So when you put the like terms, you are going to have 310x is going to be equal to 7750. This implies that your x is going to be equal to 25. So it means now how many lessons? It means now there should be 25 lessons per day to break even. Okay, so this question, what it is presenting to us, it is presenting that know the context. The context here is between the revenue and the cost. The definition of break-even is when the cost function is equal to a revenue function. Do you have a revenue function? Yes, it is given. Do you have a cost function? No, a cost function is not given. I need to derive it. So we want to derive a cost function. So this is the derivation of a cost function. Then you derive it and then you equate according to this. You use this one here and then you get your x. Okay? So you do that's how you think about these things. You mathematize, decontextualize to mathematize. What is it that you are given? What is it that you are asked to do? What are the critical aspects that I need to help me to get to the answer? Pull them together and go and get to the destination. Okay, so now out of the context of the financial maths into a different context. Okay, you look at this, it's an inequality. You know, inequality against a number line. Okay, fine, I know. Let me simplify this. So I'm going to have x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 0. Because it's a quadratic inequality, I want to write everything in a standard form. If it's a quadratic inequality, I want to write it in this form. Okay, once I put it in this form, I'm going to write it as an equation and factorize. Equation, factorize. You factorize to get your critical points, critical values. Once you get your critical values, you go and get your number line. So you follow all of these steps. Okay. So that's what we are going to do here. Here you are going to have x squared minus x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 0. We are going to write this thing as an equation. Okay. So writing this thing as an equation is going to be x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Then we factorize. So we are done with this one. We need to factorize. So here we are looking for the factors of 6. When we subtract them, are going to give us 1, the middle term. So that is going to be 3 and 2. The middle term is given to the bigger number. So this gets to minus, this gets the positive. So I've done this one. We need to get our critical aspects. So the critical values is when you say x minus 3 is equal to 0. Or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So you've got x is equal to 3 or your x is equal to minus 2. So I have found my critical aspects. So now you need to take your critical aspects into a number line. So you need to get your number line. So we'll go and draw the number line. Okay. In our number line, we write our critical values. Critical values is minus 3. And then this one is equal to minus 2. Okay. So you said you just choose any boundary. So let's look for any values that are greater than or minus 2. Let's choose u0. Ne? We are going to choose u0 and put 0 here and say 0 minus 3 and 0 plus 2. This is going to be negative 3 and 2 is going to give us negative 6. Okay. And we know any number that is greater than u0, that means it's positive. Any number that is greater than u0, it means you are in a negative. Okay, so it means all the values that are greater than or minus 2, we have tested with u0, are going to give you a this a negative number. So a negative less than 0, which is a negative number. So this is negative. You can test for any values that are between minus 3 and minus 2. You can do that and say, I'm going to test with minus 1. A value between minus 3 and minus 1 is going to be 1,5. You can test with minus 0.5. It is going to give you a positive number. You can test with this, it's going to be negative 1. So look for any value. For any value between minus 3 and minus 2. You're wrong, one, wrong. Number line I'm very sorry for that. In number line here 2, it is minus 2 and 3. Ne? Or critical aspects. Okay. Sithe any value engu-0, i-value engu-0 is negative number. You can get any value here is positive. Here is positive. Let's check that. Any value greater than 3, let's say testing on 4. 4 minus 3 and 4 plus 2 is going to be equal to 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. It's going to give you a positive number, positive 6. Okay, which is greater than 0, which is positive. So that's why positive. Test the same thing. So you've got your number line. After you've got your number line, get your solution. Okay. How do you get your solution? You get your solution by going to this form. This is where you get your solution. You get your solution here. This thing is saying get the solution that is greater than 0. That means look for the boundary that has got positive numbers, because we say greater than 0 is positive. So we are going to look for a part that is giving us Ulendo. So this thing is saying all the values that are greater than 3, any values that are greater than equal to 3 are giving us positive. Any values that are less than or equal to or minus 2 are giving us positive in our number line. So now we've got our thing. Here is our solution. Here is our solution. So our solution, it is where x is less than or equal to minus 2, and then x is greater than or equal to 3. So there is our solution. So that's how you deal with anything that has got to do with inequality. Okay, you remember all of these steps. These are the critical aspects. These are the critical aspects, that is the procedures, the standard procedures that you follow. Okay, if it's a quadratic. So we are saying an equation is when you put it in this form, if it's an equation. Okay, and then you proceed step by step. If it's a quadratic, okay, these are the steps that you follow when you've got a quadratic inequality. Okay, so I think I've already taken you through the procedures of finding the roots. Here you are finding ama x values. Okay, so here finding the x values, you would have 6x squared plus 5x minus 5 minus 1. Lena is straightforward. You don't even need to do AC method. You don't need to do AC method. You're going to have 6x and x. So you're going to have 1 and 1. So this is going to be positive and minus. You want to check if ever you've got correct factors. You're going to have 6x squared. Inner terms minus squared. The outer terms is plus 6x. The last term is minus 1. So this is 6x squared plus 5x minus 1. This I was just testing. If ever we've got the correct ones. So now this becomes your thing. So this needs to be equated to 0 for you to find the roots is equal to 0. So this is equal to 0. Therefore, 6x minus 1 is equal to 0, or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So your x is equal to 1 over 6, or your x is equal to minus 1. So this becomes your solution. So your solution will be this one. So you must always know what, okay, this keyword is which critical aspect is it taking me, which discourse, how do I do the processes step by step. This video, you can use it against the concepts that are being assessed in your assignment or the exam. If you've got any question that is unique, okay, if you've got a question that is unique, that is not similar to these, because I got them from somewhere, you can get a 30-minute session. I can sit with you on that question, then I can help you. It can be an assignment or a past exam, whichever one. Any concept that you want me to help you with, send an email to Belinda. Belinda will be able to organize a one-on-one session for 30 minutes, or you can send me an email for 30 minutes, for 1 minute, 5 minutes. I mean, if you've got a question here, 1 minute, I can be able to help you with any question. Here's my class number, here's my email address. That's it for me. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, students.
Bye.